Welcome to the Explainer. If you're a focused learner trying to figure out the actual mechanics of your own mind, well, you are in the exact right place today. We're going to explore something that is just incredibly fascinating, the literal biological address of your willpower. We talk about grit, persistence, and drive all the time, right? And we usually talk about them like they're just these abstract character traits, kind of like this invisible magic that some people are born with and others just aren't. But as it turns out, tenacity has a very specific zip code in your brain. Today, we're decoding a remarkable brain structure that acts as your personal willpower hub.
It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point, isn't it? Why is pushing through hard challenges just so incredibly brutal for some of us, but seemingly effortless for others? Think about the last time you had to do something you really didn't want to do. Maybe it was waking up early for a freezing cold run, or finally tackling that absolutely massive spreadsheet at work, or just trying to resist a late-night craving. We all experience that intense, heavy internal friction. That universal struggle of doing hard things is something every single human faces. But the secret to why some people push through that friction while others hit the snooze button? It isn't just about having moral fortitude. It actually comes down to the biology we are about to unpack.
Okay, let's dive into this. Meet the absolute unsung hero of your brain, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, or thankfully, the aMCC for short. This structure acts as a literal willpower hub. Its primary job is to integrate the signals your body is constantly sending you, stuff like stress, hunger, fatigue, with your higher level goals, and then it decides exactly how much effort to allocate. It is the physical, biological source of your tenacity. Whenever you feel that overwhelming urge to quit, but you somehow force yourself to keep going anyway, you are actively firing up your aMCC. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll officially meet your willpower hub. Then, we'll look at the cost-benefit calculator. Third, we'll dive into SuperAgers and stress resilience. Fourth, we'll look at athletes, obesity, and control. And finally, number 5, we'll cover exactly how to train it. All right, let's kick things off with section 1. Meet your willpower hub, the anatomy of tenacity. So the aMCC is located deep inside your head. It's part of the cingulate cortex, situated right above the brain's corpus callosum, tucked roughly beneath your frontal lobes. But honestly, its exact GPS coordinates are way less important than what it actually connects to. You see, it doesn't work in isolation. It's basically a central communication hub. It links directly to your prefrontal cortex, which is the part handling your long-term planning and cognitive control. It talks to your insula, which processes internal body sensations, like a racing heart or an empty stomach. It connects to your motor regions, which literally move your muscles. And it ties right into your limbic areas, which generate your emotions. By sitting right smack in the middle of this massive network, the aMCC can take your high-level cognitive plans, weigh them against how tired or stressed your physical body feels, and then literally send the command to your motor cortex to take action anyway. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. In a 2020 study, Turotuglo and colleagues described the aMCC as a network hub that predicts how much energy is needed for tasks like paying attention, learning, or moving, all to achieve our goals. Notice that key word there, predicts. It's all about anticipation. Before you even take a single step or try to solve a complex problem, your aMCC is already predicting the energy you'll need to get it done. Which brings us right in to section 2, the cost-benefit calculator. Basically, the brain asking, is this worth it? Let's move to and see how this builds, because once the aMCC anticipates the energy needed, it has to answer one fundamental question. Is this worth it? The aMCC basically acts as your internal calculator, weighing the cost of the effort against the benefit of the reward. It's computing what neuroscientists call the expected value of control. Here is exactly how that plays out. Step 1, a goal arises. Maybe it's learning a branding language. Step 2, your aMCC computes the effort versus the expected reward. It asks, okay, how hard is studying going to be today, and how amazing will I feel when I'm finally fluent? Step 3 is the critical divergence, engage or avoid. If the reward outweighs the cost, the aMCC signals go for it. If the cost is too high, it signals you to quit or maybe find an easier path. And crucially, we have step 4, outcome feedback and update. Whether you choose to engage or avoid, your brain registers the outcome and updates the aMCC for next time. If you push through and feel a massive sense of accomplishment, your aMCC learns that the effort was totally worth it, which actually makes you slightly more tenacious the next time around. Let's transition over to section 3, SuperAgers and stress resilience.
what does aging with willpower look like? So what happens to this willpower hub as we get older? Well, a 2022 study by Katsumi and colleagues reveals a really striking comparison. On one side, we have what they call SuperAgers. These are individuals aged 70 and older who have unusually sharp memories and preserved thicker aMCC structures. And get this, following surgery, this SuperAger group experienced zero post-surgery delirium, none at all. Contrast that with typical older adults on the other side, who generally have a thinner aMCC and unfortunately experienced much higher delirium severity. In fact, across all the patients in the study, a thicker aMCC predicted milder delirium. What this tells us is that a strong aMCC doesn't just help you finish a really tough workout. It actually provides massive, tangible resilience against the severe physical and cognitive stress of illness and aging.
All right, section 4. Athletes, obesity, and control. Let's look at the physical impact of the aMCC.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how our behaviors literally reshape our brains. Because the aMCC is kind of like a physical muscle, it literally changes based on our lifestyle. We can clearly see structural differences based on these factors. For example, studies of elite athletes, like basketball players, show greater gray matter volume in regions overlapping the aMCC, along with stronger resting connectivity to their motor networks. They have this highly trained cognitive motor control, which allows them to turn their intentions into actions and tolerate extremely high levels of pain and fatigue. Conversely, brain imaging studies of individuals with obesity consistently show reduced gray matter in these exact same areas, along with blunted aMCC activation in response to food cues. Scientifically speaking, this fits a reward deficiency model. When the aMCC's function is blunted, the brain has a much harder time resisting immediate impulses or learning from the negative consequences of overeating. It's an actual structural hurdle in the brain's ability to evaluate effort and self-control.
And if you need more proof that tenacity is a deeply ingrained biological drive and not just some abstract concept we made up, look at what happens in the lab. Researchers applied mild electrical stimulation directly to the aMCC in rats, and it literally made them run farther to achieve a goal, even when they were receiving a physical shock. By literally jump-starting this willpower hub, the animals pushed through physical pain. This is a hardcore biological mechanism, folks. And when we zoom out across all the hard observational science, from foundational reviews on tenacity to aging, obesity, and elite athletics, the evidence really points in the exact same direction. As we can see here across these 5 key studies, a stronger, more engaged aMCC correlates directly with greater perseverance, better stress resilience, and heightened self-control. Okay, the section you've probably been waiting for, Section 5. How to train it and actually build your willpower hub. So the crucial point is, if the aMCC is the physical address of willpower, and we know that it can literally change in thickness and connectivity, how do we intentionally build it up? Well, you can nurture this brain hub indirectly through your everyday habits. Number 1, stay physically active. Aerobic and resistance training actively engage those motor and cognitive networks, pumping blood flow right to the cingulate cortex. Number 2, challenge your mind. Pursue new skills that genuinely require effort. Think of it as a gym workout for your motivation circuits. Number 3, practice stress management. We know chronic stress shrinks brain networks, but mindfulness and relaxation let the aMCC function efficiently without constantly being overwhelmed. Number 4, set gradual goals. Remember that feedback loop we talked about earlier? By breaking big tasks into small wins, you feed your aMCC positive reward signals, which literally teaches it to persist. And finally, number 5, maintain a healthy diet and sleep to reduce brain inflammation and allow this vital hub time to recover. So look, willpower isn't magic. It's biology. It's a physical, tangible network inside your brain that anticipates effort, calculates value, and drives you forward through resistance. And just like any other muscle in your body, it strengthens the more you intentionally use it. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What hard thing will your aMCC conquer today? Thanks so much for exploring with us, and go put that willpower hub to work.